Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is all for NAWT, not new weekly NXT short review. Uh, all for Naught has been modified from its previous version, where myself and Sammy would meet on Wednesdays in the evening live and discuss Monday Night Raw and NXT. Um, we decided to break it up into two small shorts during the week. So Sammy's taking care of Monday Night Raw, and that short should have been available yesterday for you to see. Check it out, please, if you didn't. His Raw review was very solid. And I got NXT. So I am here for the first All for Knots. Um, Possessive NXT roundup review. So this week was a big week. It was NXT Spring Breakin', and it was a solid week. I thought the wrestling on the show was really good. Just to kind of talk about the show as a whole, I thought the wrestling on the show was really good. I thought a couple people stepped up. I thought Tatum Paxley, which we'll talk about here in the first match, looked really good. Looked better than I think she looks on a regular basis. Um, so that was interesting to see. I thought that Trick Williams looked really good in becoming the new NXT World Champion, beating Ilya Dragunov in the main event, which we'll get to as I get to that part of the show. But yeah, exciting night, fun time. The crowd was into Trick's win at the end. Trick is extremely over. And yeah, solid NXT. Let's just dive into it. The show opened with the NXT Women's Championship match. Roxanne Perez defending her championship against Lyra Valkyrie and Tatum Paxley. This was a solid match. All three women can wrestle. Um, Roxanne Perez ultimately got the win here. And this was, a really solid triple threat match. Like I said, all three women can wrestle. It had some really solid spots. I thought that Tatum Paxley looked really good here, much better than I've seen her in the past. Lyra Valkyrie, we know she held the title before. That's who Roxanne Perez beat for the title. So we know that she can be that main eventer. I think Roxanne Perez, maybe more likely Lyra Valkyrie is going to the main roster. We're going to be called up during the draft. I guess we'll have to see. Roxanne Perez retaining the title doesn't necessarily mean that she couldn't be called up. It would seem to me, I find it weird when someone has a title on NXT and gets called up to the main roster, much like they did with Braun Breaker when him and Baron Corbin were tag team champions. But I guess we'll ultimately see what happens with the draft and Roxanne Perez. This was a solid match. Go back and check it out. If you like women's wrestling, this was a good match. And this was one of the better NXT women's matches I've seen recently. So I enjoyed this one a lot. Let's see. The next we had the D'Angelo family versus the group of the entirely too long a name, No Quarter Catch Crew. They've got to find something to get a better name for these guys. Even NQCC, just as an acronym, is too long. So too many letters. I'm a huge fan of the No Quarter Catch Crew. I just don't like the name. D'Angelo family ultimately got the win here. Tony D hit the spine buster um, for the win. These guys are all solid. D'Angelo stands out. I like Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey's getting more action. I wish they would just lean into the fact that he's Regal's son instead of trying to pretend like he's not. I can kind of take Damon Kemp and Miles Bourne. Drew Gulak is gone, so he's no longer part of this group. Uh, I was a little disappointed that Charlie Dempsey took the pin. Is what it is. Tony D, I think, is ready for the main roster. We'll see what happens with the draft. Uh, Fallon Henley defeated Jada Parker in a match that I don't really care about. This is definitely the down part of the show. Uh, unless they come up with something for Henley, she's just too forgettable. She's not making it. They need to either give her a title, give her a really good storyline or something, because she's just not right now. She's just not meeting that expectation, or that she's not moving the meter. Uh, then we had Lola Vice revealing that Shayna Baszler is her training partner for her NXT Underground match against Natty. I've been a little outspoken about this. I am not sure that I'm here for this. I don't think the Underground has worked ever since they've tried to do it. It definitely didn't work as the third hour of Raw when they tried to do it. I guess they've had a couple matches since then that maybe you could say might have worked a little bit, but I don't know. I'm never a fan of this. I'm not sure why Natty's on NXT. I guess, they do like to bring these veterans out, especially ones that are not doing a whole lot on the main roster. So I guess it gets her some reps, and it gets Lola Vice, a push because she's in a program, I guess, with a main roster worker. Um, she calls herself the boat, but I mean, nowhere in my list of greatest women professional wrestlers is Natty anywhere near the top of that list. So it is what it is. I'm happy to see Shayna Baszler. I don't. We'll see what pans out here with her. Maybe coming down to NXT, or if it's just a one-off. With training Lola Vice. I like Lola Vice, so we will see what ends up happening here. But I didn't think that this was a great. I don't think this is a great storyline, or even a very good storyline between Natty and Lola Vice as far as this NXT Underground, or this, underground WWE Underground stuff. We had Blair Davenport versus Sol Ruka. Sol got the win here. Davenport's taken 2 losses recently. I'm not sure. I really like Blair. I really like Sol. Um, this was a beach break match where they could use surfboards and stuff. Um, she hit her with the springboard soul snatcher, so Ruka did, to get the win. Um, you know, I'm a big fan of Soul. I was disappointed when she went on the shelf. I'm glad she's back. I don't understand the booking for Blair Davenport. I just don't. She's so good. She should be NXT Women's Champion right now. No disrespect to Roxanne Perez, and she should be getting ready to move up to the main roster. Maybe she is. Maybe that's why they're not pushing her more. I don't know, but she deserves better than this. And that's not taking anything away from Saul Ruka. I just think Blair Davenport is special. So then we had Baron Corbin versus Lexus King. Um, Lexus King got the pinfall over Baron Corbin. I'm not totally sure what we're doing here. I know we want to push Lexus King, but I don't think he's getting over. And yet, at the same time, he's taken a couple losses too, and hasn't had what I would call great writing for him, or great storylines, or anything for him. So we're taking a veteran of Baron Corbin who's well established and whatever, and making him lose to a guy that is not really doing anything at the moment, which is very weird because Corbin and Breaker were just tag team champions. So, and I thought that they wanted to do more with Corbin on NXT. I guess potentially trying to use Corbin as like a gateway. If you want to make it an NXT, you got to beat Baron Corbin. Everyone seemed to have to wrestle him lately. It's on the come up, so maybe that's what they're hoping. They'll get the same rub with Lexus King, but Brian Pillman Jr.'s Lexus King is not getting over, in my opinion. So we'll see what ends up happening. Then we had the final main event, which was Ilya versus Trick for the title. Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov have very good chemistry. I think I liked this match better than I liked Mello and Ilya. And that's saying a lot because Mello is him. But Trick right now is red hot. I never thought I would find myself saying I like Trick a little bit better than Mello, but at the moment I just do. Um, I think he's got a little more energy. He seems to be more kind of in his bag at the moment. Trick hit Ilya with both of Ilya's finishing moves. That was fun. This was a very fun match. He put Ilya through the announce table with the rock bottom, which was a holy shit moment. This match, extremely solid. Ilya belongs on the main roster. Ilya should be competing for the Intercontinental Championship or the North American title or the U.S. title at the main roster. And potentially even, with guys like Seth Rollins or Damian Priest for that new WWE title. Great show. I thought this was a solid NXT. I think this is one of the better NXTs, excuse me, that we've had recently. I really enjoyed this week, and I hope that they continue to be solid like this. So that's what I got to say about NXT this week. Excuse me. I apologize. Thank you for joining us as always. And until next time, peace.